So my name's Nikkie Pullen. I'm a Learning and Development Manager for B&Q. B&Q is Britain's #1 kitchen retailer and the biggest DIY store in the country. We have about 28,000 employees, over 300 different locations within the business. So I head up the retail skills team. Our main focus is looking after our colleagues in store. That could be for their mandatory learning, for their induction, and also upskilling them in product knowledge. So our main problem was around induction. We were finding that we were actually updating it 3 or 4 times a year, predominantly because there was so much change in the business that as soon as we'd written something and sent it to print, it was out of date once it came back from the printers. So we decided to look for a different solution and look at something more digital. So we first came across Digits when we put out a tender for e-learning providers. And Digits came along. We were really impressed with what they did, and we used them to create our first e-learning on refunds and returns. We started talking to them about what else was available, and they introduced us to the Glow Journeys. So we had an in-house LMS, which, although quite dated, is restricting us to what we could and couldn't offer. So this LMS could only be done on premise, and really we wanted people to be able to do their onboarding before they joined us, in the comfort of their own homes, do it on their phone while they're watching television. So that was one of the main criteria that we were looking for. Yeah, so we knew anything that we had to work alongside our current LMS and be an optional learning for people rather than mandatory. It was really important for people to be able to learn when and where they wanted to. If it was 2 o'clock in the morning, that was fine by us. It's whatever suited their lifestyle. What was great, that working with Digits, we were really able to personalise the journeys to what we wanted. So we worked with Digits. They created some great drawings which represented our business. They wouldn't be used anywhere else. It was just unique to us, and that really made it special. When people were joining and looking at these images, they had no doubt about what company they were joining. Well, the implementation was part of a wider induction programme. So it really was the trailblazer for it. It was what headed up and pushed people towards the new induction. So it landed really well in stores. We had a bit of an issue changing culture. There's still people who want to do it the old way and have a checklist, but actually the new colleagues coming into store are really responding well to the fact that it is digital and they can do it before they start. The best thing about the journeys is the fact that we have control. So if we have any changes in the business, we can edit that really quickly. We don't have to wait, it's instantaneous, and actually we can report on everything. So it doesn't matter what time somebody's accessed something. We don't have to load different reports. We can pull a report, send it all to Excel, and actually pull that information straight away. Initially we were looking at an onboarding journey, and actually we've developed that now into product knowledge. So we have a separate journey for colleagues to go in. They can learn about all the different products that we have. So whether that's power tools or kitchen cupboards, there's lots of information there that we've been able to share with our colleagues through that platform. We've actually seen our colleagues whipping out their phones, accessing B&Q Learning in front of a customer and sharing the learning that we've put on there for their benefit to help the customer. So that's a great way of people utilising the materials that they've got at hand. So now that leaves us with the 2 journeys that we have in place. We're now building 3 other journeys for our talent programmes. So new people coming onto the talent programme, instead of having workbooks or memory sticks with all their learning on, will actually be able to go through a journey in B&Q Learning. So in the first year of having onboarding, we've noticed that 80% of new starters are accessing that learning before they've come into the business, which is great news for us. 77% of them are saying that they really felt that doing that onboarding journey helped them succeed at B&Q. In addition to the new starters, we have nearly 11,000 users now. Bearing in mind that this isn't a mandatory journey, it's great to see that that many people have registered and become curious to find out what's there. So anecdotally, we're hearing from our colleagues that they really enjoy accessing the learning from home. They like to be able to learn. There aren't many computers within the stores, so it gives them an opportunity to upskill themselves, improve their own knowledge without actually having to take themselves off the shop floor. We're seeing great results within our retention figures in the business. Staff turnover is definitely down, and we're seeing a correlation to the experience that they have when they first start in the business. We're also seeing this year more people than ever before have joined the talent programmes, so we've got a huge intake this year, and I hope they're looking forward to trying out our new journeys.